At this time, I'll open the public hearing on the 2011 budget amendment.
We, as required by law, we published this proposed amendment to the current budget. I presented each of you last week with a packet of adjustments that were requested by the various department heads, and there's, I guess, this is what we're looking at. If you have any questions, we can discuss them at this time. There were several adjustments. In the bottom half of that proposal is the expenditure funds. Public safety and legal services, we adjusted that $175,140. The sheriff bought another vehicle. 50 of that was carried over from last year's budget and added to this year's budget for the purchase of a new ambulance. The next one is...
Did we also have
there's some adjustment in...
Well, there's for the clerk of court, the juvenile...
That's correct.
There's $21,500.
Right. That's for the juvenile portion of it. Actually, it's called the clerk of court, but it's under the jurisdiction now of the county attorney's office. So, the $10,000 in physical health and social services is a $10,000 grant awarded to the Veterans Affairs Office. That's money in and money out, so that's not a drain on any of the fund balances. That's reflected up above in the revenue side of this from the intergovernmental revenue source. The $81,000 in mental health is adjustments in salaries, and I'll let Lisa Bethune address that if there's questions, and any more questions on that.
I'll just for clarification. We had a case manager that wasn't included in last year's budget that we've added to staff. One question we had about that is there should be, because of case management we're only paying 30-some% of that, shouldn't there be a revenue adjustment for that portion?
Right, but it won't be before the end of FY11.
But that will be coming back as a part of
it should be reflected in whatever the actual versus
in our cost report.
Mm-hmm.
And our reimbursement level that is 60-some%, correct? We're paying 30.
We're
something.
I think we're at 36-ish right now.
Okay.
Is it? Yeah.
So that expenditure, there's a portion of that, which includes, that would include FICA and IPERS and salary.
100% of her salary is included in the cost report. That particular one, yes.
I interpreted it. We had several other inpatient, outpatient situations that we just can't.
Yeah, there's no way to predict it.
You get the bill and you pay it.
Mm-hmm.
So. Okay.
The next adjustment is $25,150 in county environment education. That is county conservation. $17,000 of that is for engineering items on the Sauk Rail Trail. Insurance increase for the naturalist who went from a single policy to a family coverage policy. $1,500 for office supplies, and $2,000 for unexpected equipment repairs. Farther down, there's an adjustment in the capital projects of $81,357. That's some costs incurred for the Conservation Interpretive Center. That's out of the REAP and capital projects funds that don't affect the general fund. So the next one is the government services to residents. There was $2,186 from an expenditure in the recorder's office, and that's out of that records management fund, which is money collected at $1 per instrument when a deed or that type of thing is recorded. So that's the other part of that $18,000 is election expense fund. There was some maintenance on our election equipment, increased costs in ballot printing, and some additional costs to mileage and expense of the general election. The next one, administration. That was an adjustment. $1,934 was an adjustment in FICA and IPERS that appeared in 2 or 3 different categories, and it was just a miscalculation when we put the budget together. So that kind of reflects then a total adjustment in revenues of $78,286, total adjustment in expenditures of $394,767, for a net adjustment of $316,481. And like Lisa said, some more of that will be adjusted back after the cost report is submitted and approved, but it won't come back until we get into the next fiscal budget. So it's coming. Any questions? Oh, and I did mention the sheriff.
Yep.
The ambulance had an additional revenue adjustment of $25,000. I guess that an explanation of the revenues up above the. So that's the proposed budget amendment for 2010 and 11.
Questions?
Any questions on this? Have you had any phone calls or contacts?
No, it's.
Now to take a motion then to close the public hearing.
Also move. I'll second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. All ayes, public hearing is closed. Now we need a motion to approve the amendment.
Motion to approve the budget as amended. I'll second that motion.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. All ayes. The amendment has been approved.
Mike Gooding, he was supposed to be here at 10:45. Just walked in, maybe?